Hey everybody, this is Tom with Hidden Beats, and today we have Josh Beauchamp with us. Would you like to give a little introduction about yourself?
What's up, everybody? I'm Josh Beauchamp. I am 21 years old and I am from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Edmonton, Alberta. I was actually born in Calgary, so I know that area pretty well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Freezing.
It's actually nice. So I'm based out of Ottawa right now, and we actually have
Mhm.
a bit of a decent warm streak going on. So
Really? I'm
it
jealous.
was it was minus 30 for the last 2 weeks though.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds about right.
hmm So let's get into it. You're part of the first ever group consisting entirely of different nationalities. How does it feel being part of something just like that?
It's I feel like it's a big responsibility for one. Being the Canadian representative, I get to represent my whole country in this group. And so that's a lot of pressure, I guess. But I take it with as much pride as I can. And I try to do my very best to just be the best I possibly can. And meeting all these people from different places is really interesting. And I've learned so much more about the world and different people than in these short years that I've been in this group, than I have in like all the years of social studies classes I've been taking.
Is there like language barriers and stuff you guys have, or just anything like that?
um, there at the beginning, there was a little bit with one girl specifically. She didn't really know English that well. But other than her, she learned a lot in the past few years, and now she's fluent, and we're just fine. But everyone speaks English, and that's the language we all communicate in.
Okay. Is there any intercultural things you've learned?
Yeah, well, there's just a bunch of different things, like little things, like how you greet each other in different countries. Like some people do like one kiss on the cheek, some people do two kisses on the cheek, some people do a handshake, some people do like a little bow, some people go in for a hug. It really just is, it's these little things that make a difference, I think.
Yeah, I would imagine there'd be so many little things you pick up on too if you're not used to it also.
100%.
hmm So being a part of a group this big, how how does music come together for this?
Well, we have a bunch of different amazing producers that we work with, producers and writers, and our manager and boss man, Simon Fuller, he gets to kind of decide which songs get used and which songs don't. And we've done a bunch of writing as well. So some of us like who have shown interest in writing and producing have gone into a bunch of sessions and helped out those producers and writing some songs. And then, yeah, Simon just decides which ones get placed. And then we all record those and they get released.
Okay. Do you guys have like a grueling schedule when you're getting something ready for a performance? Imagine with choreo and things like that.
Yes, actually. We're having in the next week, everyone's gonna come down to LA. That's where I am actually right now. And we are preparing for our tour that is happening in Brazil and Portugal. We're doing a tour. It's the Wave Your Flag tour. And we have an hour and a half show where we have to prepare a bunch of songs and a bunch of choreography. And so those days are going to be 9 to 5 every day in the rehearsal studio, get like one day off each week. So it's going to be a lot of sweat, I would say.
I mean, but it, turns out a nice product at the end, so it's probably worth it.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got one of my writers to help me with some points. I admit I didn't know much about you guys beforehand, so
No, it's all good. Don't worry.
and I also suck at research because running the behind the scenes stuff, I got a lot of things to work on. So um one of my writers here, she put, when you were growing up with dancing and you were Oh no, how'd she write this? So you were bullied a bit when you were growing up because dancing was seen as feminine. How did you get motivated to stick with it?
Um, I think I just had found the right people at the right time. Growing up in Alberta, Canada, it's a bit on the I don't know. People don't like to see a guy dancing. They'd rather see him playing hockey. So I did do all the sports. I did baseball. I did soccer. I was a competitive swimmer actually, and I was competing at like a provincial level. And I did all those sports and I did hockey as well, but I loved dance more than anything else. And it was more of a struggle in like, honestly, elementary school to junior high. That was when it was like the worst. But once I got to high school, there still was like a bunch of like little bullies every once in a while. But I found the group of guys who like really supported what I was doing, and they thought it was super sick. And so they kind of like were my bodyguards, I guess.
Okay.
And they were in sports. They were in like basketball and football and all like the really physical kind of hockey as well. And so they were big, and they like, if anybody was to like kind of pick on me, they would like stand up for me. And so that helped a whole lot. My parents have always been so supportive ever since the very beginning. My mom put me in dance, and my whole family too. All my extended family have been super supportive. So
nice. That's always a bonus.
Yeah.
Most people might not know that about me, but I was actually in figure skating, and that's not something you would typically see someone like me, tattooed big guy, with that. So I understand that for sure.
Yeah.
Did you receive any kind of sage advice that you've held on to during your career?
I have received a ton, a lot, and that is why I'm not. It's not coming to my mind right now, but I'm trying to think. Yeah, I've received a lot, and a lot of them have stuck with me as well. Basically, like a bunch of like the kind of general ones would be just like be yourself, I guess. I've been told that a million times, and I never really understood what it meant until like later on. And it really is like true to like be yourself. That is, be yourself because no one else can be you, I guess. And that's something that has stuck with me for a very long time. So yeah, there's a bunch of others, but I cannot think of them right now.
It's always, I put people on the spot with that every so often, where it's like, oh damn, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Would you have some advice that you've learned along the way that you would give to somebody on the come up?
I think I'll give a quote. I'll give a quote that I really love. My first tattoo I ever got is arrow. It's right here, right there. And I got it because I saw this quote that said, the further an arrow is pulled back, the farther it shoots forward. And I was going through a time when I thought that I shouldn't be pursuing this kind of career at all in the entertainment business. And I was hitting a lot of roadblocks, a lot of closed doors. It was just getting really hard. And so when I saw that kind of just motivated me to push a little bit farther. And after that, I just started to get these big opportunities that kind of defined my career, I guess.
No, for sure. How would you say that Now United has opened doors for you?
I feel like Now United has been the door. I was a dancer ever since I was 6. And I always wanted to be artist, all-rounded artist. And so I never knew really how to do that. when I was in dance. Like I never really knew how I could do it coming from such a small town in Canada. And it just I couldn't even comprehend it really. But it is something I always wanted to do, was become the all-rounded performer. So when I got the opportunity for this, that's right then was when I was like, oh my God, the doors are wide open and I can be whatever I want to be. And so that Now United has been the door to me becoming an all-rounded artist, because I've been training in singing and guitar and piano and producing and writing for the past 4 years I've been in it. And it's just opened doors in so many ways. Like I feel like I could do whatever I wanted to.
Nice. My speaking of guitars, my writer wanted me to ask you specifically about your pink guitar.
Okay.
Just want to know what the story behind it was.
The story behind it, I actually just got that guitar. And I love it more than anything on this planet. I think it's the sexiest thing ever. And I got it for Christmas. I went into a guitar shop in St. Albert, Alberta. And I looked through all the guitars and I tried a bunch of them. And I was like, I don't know. Usually when you find a guitar that you really love, you kind of just like attach to it and you like need it. And I wasn't finding anything. And then the guy I was talking to brought me over to like the demo / like used shelf.
Yeah.
And I immediately saw that one. And I went right up to it and I grabbed it and I was like, holy, this is the greatest thing alive. Nice. Not alive. It wasn't alive, but it's the greatest thing ever. And I was like, this is on my Christmas list right now. And I ended up getting it for Christmas, and it's been a love story ever since.
I would say it's alive. You bring that to life every time you use it. So
yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Mm-hmm. Do you get homesick when you're traveling?
After a while, yes, I do. Yeah. I get distracted when I leave home, because when I'm at home, there's not a whole lot to do for me in like Alberta, I guess. There's not a whole lot of crazy opportunities that I can kind of take advantage of. But when I'm on the road, there's opportunities left and right, and there's so many things that I could do. And so I get a little distracted and I don't really think about it. But after a while, I definitely start to miss home. And then when I'm coming home, it just feels great.
Yeah, guys, connecting with family and friends again, sitting down, relaxing. It's probably nice.
Yeah.
Do you have any fun tour stories or anything that you've had while you've been out?
Oh, a bunch. there's so many. Like it's been 4 years of traveling, so there's so many different stories I have. We have a show called the Now United Show that goes on YouTube every week, and every single moment is probably captured in that show. But a specific funny story could be one of our first times we ever traveled. There was one girl who's really, really clumsy. And we had to do this performance where we were on a platform in the water. It made us look like we were like standing on the water. Okay. And we were rehearsing, and I called it. I was like, Annie's going to fall in the pool. And then she was like, no, I'm not. And then like 5 minutes later, she's in it. She fell in. So that was kind of funny.
Do you guys find that you become like real good friends with all the time you've spent with each other?
100%. I mean, we're basically a family. Like everything that comes with being a family is in Now United.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you see a lot of things on TV about groups that they're just that connected, and they're, family, brothers, things like that. So
yeah.
How do you feel that COVID affected you guys?
It really did. It definitely put a huge obstacle in our way. When COVID just hit, we were actually doing a promo tour in Brazil for a tour that we already sold out the tickets to. I think. Did we sell tickets yet? I'm not sure. I can't remember, but we had announced the tour, and we were promoting it on this trip we took to Brazil, and it happened right then, like right while we were there, and it sent us all home, and we thought it was gonna be done in like a month and we could go on tour, and it ended up being till now. So we were stuck at home for about like 6 months. I think I was stuck at home for 6 months, and then we ended up being able to travel to the UAE, like Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and we spent 4 months there just making a bunch of things like music videos, content, just anything we could. And the next year we spent doing kind of the same thing, music videos, traveling to different places. It started to open up more. We have just kind of taken advantage of any opportunity that we can to keep our kind of snowball rolling in the brink of this pandemic. And yeah, it really kind of gave us a little punch, I would say.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of hit a bit differently. And I'm actually I'm a photographer mainly. So I started these interviews with COVID. There was nothing else to really do. So I transitioned into doing stuff like this, and it's worked out nicely, but it'd be nice to get back outside too.
Yeah. I do a bit of photography too. I love photography.
Nice. That was actually like my main thing in college. It was something I just picked up as an elective and went, oh, damn. Okay. This is fun.
Yeah. I don't know anything about photography, like how to do it and like all the rules there is, but I just have a film camera and I shoot it all the time, and I love to do it. It's fun.
I don't like to say that there's rules with it specifically, because it's more about your feeling and your eye for your picture. So everyone does something a bit differently, and as long as you like it.
True. Very true.
So how do you think social media has affected you in your role with COVID then too? You probably have to do a lot more work on social media nowadays.
Yeah. Social media took like kind of the front row seat of Now United when the pandemic hit, because there's not a whole lot of things we could do. And since we all live in our home countries, that are 18 different countries, it's kind of impossible to get together. It was impossible. So, we've been a lot more present on social media, and we've been trying to do a bunch of different things content wise. And we ended up being able to record songs from home. Actually, that was interesting. We ended up getting like recording kind of setups. We had like mics and reflection filters and all that. We ended up getting those. But before that, I was actually using this phone that I'm calling you on, and we're using voice memos, and everyone else was too. So there are some songs streaming on Spotify and Apple Music from Now United that are actually all recorded on iPhones.
Nice.
Which is interesting.
Would you think it was hard to adapt to technology and stuff when this started happening?
No, not really, because we were always posting already. Like, it was Simon's main goal at the beginning of Now United. His idea was to have us just be more connected to the fans than any other group ever. And how we were going to do that is through social media. And so we have always just been super present on social media. And so it wasn't really hard to adapt technology-wise. Learning how to use recording software and like Logic Pro and that, like it takes a minute, but I was just doing basic stuff that was kind of easy. So not really.
Yeah. How is it working with Simon? I mean, he's Simon, like that name alone says a lot. So
yeah, it's crazy, surreal to me. I still like pinch myself when I see him walk in the office sometimes. He's Simon Fuller. He's done some of the biggest things in the entertainment business ever. And he is a genius, and I have nothing but praise for him. He's such a genuine and nice person. And yeah, I've got nothing but respect, and I just try and spend a lot of time around him so I can learn from him.
I imagine absorbing everything you can would be real beneficial with him for sure. Nice. One question I always like to ask people, and it always throws people for a loop. Okay. Is there something that you wish more people would ask you during interviews that they might not know?
You know what? It's funny you ask this because like I come up with like interview questions all the time that I would have the best answers for. But I don't know.
Like I said, it throws everyone for a loop trying to think of something.
Yeah, I think about this all the time, but like it's just in the moment that I'm like, this would be a great question. I always love it when like interviewers ask about like certain kind of musical interests, I would say. I think it says a lot about a person when they can tell you like who their favorite artist is, or what they're listening to right now, or like yeah, I think anything around that, I would say.
Well, funny that you say that, because my next question is there something on your playlist right now that people would be surprised you're listening to?
I think there would be. I recently have actually been obsessed with soundtrack music for movies. And so I have like How to Train Your Dragon in there. Nice. I've got At Wit's End by Hans Zimmer. That's from Pirates of the Caribbean. I listened to like the Tron soundtrack by Daft Punk.
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of them that like are just insane. I think soundtrack music is just genius on another level. It's insane to me.
It's very underappreciated. My camera just cut out here.
It's all good.
There we go. It does that to me sometimes.
All good.
But yeah, like I was saying, it's very underappreciated, and a lot of people just don't get that. You can listen to a soundtrack and get the whole feel of a whole movie, or just what the person was thinking at the time.
Yeah.
Some of my favorites, like I have like the Jurassic Park theme and things like that, that are always those nice classic tunes.
Yeah. There's just so many, like, especially like in Euphoria right now. I'm watching Euphoria, and Labyrinth in there. Like, those songs are just ridiculous. Like, it blows my mind every time I hear anything in that series, especially. It's like I could listen to it all day.
Nice. Do you have any inspiration when you were growing up?
I didn't catch that. It cut out a lot.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Musical inspirations do you still have on your playlist from when you were growing up?
Yeah. I've always wanted to be a performer. So performers like Michael Jackson, Usher, Chris Brown, who else? Even female performers like Beyonce. Doja Cat actually is pretty crazy. She's coming up right now, and like she is an incredible performer. Anyone performance based would be my kind of inspiration. I've always wanted to be more of a performer than a musician, I would say, but I would love to be both.
Yeah. It's funny you say Doja Cat. Actually, my literal last interview, she was one that was brought up also.
Really?
Yeah. She's starting to turn a lot of heads for sure.
Well, she's just super unique and talented. It's hard to kind of not notice.
Yeah, I wasn't very familiar with her until kind of catching a few different YouTube videos and things like that. And I was like, okay, like not bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all the stuff I have for you because I knew we had a bit of a tighter timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Is there, I mean, I know you guys were talking about you're working on the tour and things like that. Is there any other interesting projects in the works right now?
I think we're going to be recording new music once everybody gets here. I've been doing some recording recently, and we're gonna probably do a new song on tour. I'm thinking. I've heard that is a possibility. We did just release a music video that hit 50 million views in like a week, which was nuts.
Nice.
And that yeah, that one's Jump, and we got that virtual artist in it as well. It's very interesting. But yeah, that was a project that we worked on. But I think the next few weeks / month are just going to be completely based on our tour.
Okay. Is there anything you want to leave like a final note for fans, new and old, that might be listening / watching this?
Sure. I love you guys so much. You're the reason why I get to do what I do. And I hope I get to see you guys in person very soon. And this pandemic just decides to die.
Yeah, the pandemic is something. We have a whole a huge trucker protest going on here right now.
I heard about that.
Apparently,
I don't know what it's about or anything, but it sounds pretty crazy.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm actually about 20 miles away from where the whole trucker section is right now, and I can still hear all the honking in my apartment.
Jeez.
Yes, something.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah. I mean, hopefully we'll get to see you up here in Canada at some point. I've got photographers and stuff all across, so I'll get someone out there if you're nearby, and wish you guys the best and all the success in the world.
Thank you very much. It was great talking with you.
All right, we'll end it off now and enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, you as well. Thank you very much.
All right, bye.
Bye.